what I want to look at today was what is the Trump name going to do to those who have to carry it around. Now it's going to be a long video. I got like 7 decks here because I want to look at each one of them. I want to look at Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, Melania, and Baron, and Tiffany. See what is that name going to do for them or to them. We'll start with Baron here. We'll start at the bottom. Or the youngest, I should say. We'll start with Baron. He's got longer to carry it than those other ones, so let's see. Baron Trump gets the Hangman, Magician, Lovers, King of Swords, Nine of Cups. So we start with the Hangman and the Magician, Lovers, King of Swords, Nine of Cups, Ten of Wands, Knight of Wands, Six of Cups, Six of Wands, and the 6. You got all the 6s, huh? All but one. No, 6 of Swords. So you can't escape it. But you do have the Knight of Wands, so there is some new actions that you can take. This is going to show up as him here, with the Knight of Wands being at the core. There is a bit of play with the lineage, so he will have his own future that will not be completely marred by his father. His father is here. Traditional Celtic cross, this would be the past, but his father is here with the King of Swords. There is some burden, childhood. So I think he will be able to progress not out of the turmoil of the Trump name, because it will not be worth what it used to be. By the Hangman and the Ten of Wands, it is going to be stuck sort of in the burden of that King of Swords, because he sort of marred it. He really didn't mar, he exposed it. It was never really a profitable name in the first place. He just exposed it with this presidency thing. But for Baron, there will be a bit of progress for his life. He can't escape it. Like I said, there's no 6 of Swords here, but there is a 6 of Wands and a 6 of Pentacles. So he will be able to sort of lay claim to his own benevolence. He will be able to lay claim to some riches, the things that he wants and desires here with the Nine of Cups. So everything is not horrible for him. He has, like I said, longer to carry the name. With the Hangman, there could be also a change in perspective. And here with the Magician, he could have whatever power it takes to change that perspective. So it starts off good for him. He has the power to change that perspective. It will be a lot of work because of where his childhood was. But if you ask me, what I would do is... Now, this is what I would do. This is probably not what he's going to do, but I would basically lay claim to, we were under siege also by a crazy person, and let me live without the stigma. But I guess we'll see. Melania. What is the Trump name going to do to or for you? There was a plane flying over Mar-a-Lago with one of those little banners behind it that said Trump is a pathetic loser. So we have sort of come to a point where that is the worst name you could possibly have. So let us see, Melania. What is that name going to do for you? Because you married into this, so you chose this. Could have been Melania, whatever your last name was. Melania Epstein or something, I don't know. So let's see. Melania. Page of Pentacles, Three of Swords. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Wands. Everybody's going to get the Ten of Wands, I bet you. The Eight of Swords, the Page, no, that's the Five of Swords. Justice, the Magician, Eight of Wands, Seven of Swords. What is it going to do for you, or to you? The Page of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. There is some suffrage over papers, legal papers, so your marriage decree. This is not divorce yet. This is some suffering over the papers. There is some trap in lineage. You will always be bound to that name. Even if you get divorced 9 times over and change your name 10 times over, everybody will still remember where you came from. Now, mind you, Trump is not where you came from, but is what we are going to always associate you with. So you will always, to us, be Melania Trump. Even if you turn around tomorrow and be Melania whatever the heck. So, here with the Burden, the Five of Swords, and the Magician, there is also some manipulation that you cannot escape. You would like to escape this. But you can't, because again, we will always remember you that way. It has burdened you. It has sort of defeated you even in a way. This is not really what you signed up for by that Five of Swords, but it's what you got. Because your strategy here was for lineage and money. So that Seven of Swords is sneaky. This is a plan. This is trying to get something or get away with something. Lineage and money, marriage, that's what you wanted. That's what you got. You got what you wanted, but you can't escape the burden of the name. The name will burden you too. You will always be remembered as Melania Trump. Lineage, burden. Your burden is your lineage. Your lineage is your burden. You will always be Melania Trump, especially since Baron will always be Baron Trump. There is, however, some talks. There is maybe some gossip going around about your relationship being on the rocks. You would like that to be true. You may be working on something, but right now, again, you will still be trapped by this name. Now, that probably doesn't really matter all that much to you because you're more than likely, you don't have to go fill out a job application anywhere. Let's face it. As much as we say, oh, Joe Trump is broke, she got some money. I mean, you don't live the lifestyle they live purely on credit. So there's some money somewhere there. But yeah, I don't think it is going to matter in the long run. I think it just matters personally that you're stuck with that name. So it's not going to damage you going forward. It's more along the lines of everybody will remember where you came from. Tiffany. Oh, I forgot Jared. He's a Trump too. Let's get another deck for Jared here. Oh, this one's all flip-flopped, just like Jared, I guess. So there we'll do Jared too. Okay. Tiffany. She got married and she's still a Trump, so let's see. Tiffany. Three of Cups. Knight of Wands. Six of Cups. Oh, it's Six of Wands. Eight of Cups. Nine of Swords. The World. Ace of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Hierophant. Eight of Swords. You're stuck too. So we're either going to get Ten of Wands or we're going to get Eight of Swords. You're stuck too with the Eight of Swords, but the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Wands is a card that says there needs to be a reassessment because you are carrying this burden the wrong way. The Eight of Swords is a reminder that you can escape your situation. There's some crafty details you need to work out, but you can escape this situation. But the Ten of Wands is harder to escape because you're already in motion with this burden. The Eight of Swords, you are stuck. You have become powerless by your situation, not by you not knowing what to do. It's you not doing anything. So here with the Three of Cups, the Knight of Wands, there is some moving on for her, some community. She has a circle of friends that will make sure, I guess, that she is all right. Six of Wands and the Nine of Swords. If you want to elevate in life publicly, with the Six of Wands is a public recognition of who you are. If you want to do that publicly, that's going to be a little different. If you want to go into the private sector for something, then that'll be a little easier because you are more than likely going to get ahead based upon the people you know. As they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So based upon the people you know, you can get ahead. However, with the Eight of Cups and the world has sort of walked away from your family here. And there is a desire for the Six of Pentacles, I always say, is you have to check out everybody in the card. Everybody is not in a position of giving. Some people are doing the asking or the begging or the submitting to. So if you want to go back into the public forum, like I said here, Six of Wands in the world, there's going to have to be a bit of bootlicking. You're going to have to make sure that the world knows that you're not Trump. But like I said, the private sector is where you should be anyway because it's not what you know, it's who you know. The Ace of Wands, there's slow actions, or there's actions here, but they're not Eight of Wands. They're not going rapidly. This is like baby steps. So you might get some agency somewhere that's private to hire you forever, and then you'll make a good living and so forth and so forth. So you'll be fine, but you're not going to readily escape the Trump name either. Private sector is where you need to be. You definitely don't need to run for office because that's going to be humiliating. Because people were sort of feeling bad for you because you were the Trump that was left out until you got on stage and started saying stupid stuff. And then that all went out the window. All right. Jared. Jared Trump. Jared the Kushner Trump. What will that name do to you? Five of Wands. The Magician. Queen of Cups. Six of Cups. Knight of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Justice. King of Cups and the Page of Swords. Interesting. Now we haven't gotten to the ugliest players in the game just yet. We've been sort of dealing with the soft blows of Tiffany, Melania, and Baron. So we're starting to see where this name is a little more of a burden. Interestingly enough, he doesn't get the 8 of Swords or the 10 of Wands, because it's not technically a trump, but he does have the Justice, which means you are married in. But we start with the Magician and the 5 of Wands. This is tricks in combat. This is fighting and manipulation. This is skills and politics. You are going to always be tied to this family. I don't care if you get 9 divorces. You will always be tied to this family. There will always be a conflict based upon the sneaky things you did, the tricks that you pulled, so forth and so forth. There's also going to be some sort of attachment with you and Melania, and not Melania. What's that other child name? Ivanka. The two of you. Oh, we need. I'm not doing Ivana. That's enough. I get to have 4 more people. They'll go forever. There is still. You two will still be thick as thieves, but you're going to be in conflict by manipulation. Or with manipulation. So basically, there's going to be more and more of an uncovering about the things that you do, the places you've went, the deals that you've made. You and her together are either you're going to succeed together or you're going down together. Very Bonnie and Clyde, or Thelma and Louise, whichever you want to look. So also here, there's going to be a bit of, I said this before, your children may look upon you as a person of imbalance. Your father went to jail. You're also a crook and a criminal. They're going to, I don't know what kind of moral lightning bolt hits them, but children can't escape the lineage of their parents. For anyone who has abusive parents or alcoholic parents or racist parents or whatever kind of parents that you had that you are nothing like, somehow or another that's going to be that too. There's also some fighting in the courts here. I think you might be spending the next 5 years battling lawsuits or investigations or inquiries or just news stories. Whatever the case may be, it's all built upon large sums of money that you and her brought in together. There's also a man here, this is your father, that you and he need to actually have an honest conversation as well. There is some childhood with the 6 of Cups turmoil there too. You and your father have a huge, there's an elephant in the room, and instead of addressing it, both of you paint it pink. So you might need to stop trying to make the problems pretty and just make the problems go away by dealing with them, or at the very least soothing them. You don't necessarily get rid of problems sometimes, but you can do something about it. So the Trump name is not necessarily going to cripple your whole life, but if I were you and that other girl, I would run, because you are going to be investigated and all that type of stuff. So let's go to Ivanka. Ivanka Trump. What is that name going to do for you? Let's see. 3 of Swords, Ace of Cups, where's the Hierophant? Hermit, Ace of Wands, King of Swords, Four of Cups, the Empress, Queen of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. So, I heard before I laid out the cards that she is going to try to distance herself from her own father. And maybe cling to her religion or try to pretend that she is more of a person of faith than she used to be. So I was looking for the Hierophant. It is not here. However, that is what this is. The Hermit and the King of Swords. She is going to try to isolate him and isolate from him. Now, why I say from? Because it starts with the Three of Swords. There's separation. It's not always heartbreak. Sometimes it's just separation, and sometimes literally by distance. There is the Ace of Cups. So we have some new emotions also coming through. She is trying to manipulate also. This is not necessarily because she's Trump Jr., basically. But she's going to try to distance herself from her father. The Ace of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Queen of Cups. This is advice that she was given to, I guess that's what this is. Because it's not the Hierophant, it's the Empress. She is going to be more of a Betty Crocker Aunt Bee type thing from Andy Griffith. She's going to be more of the homemaker, and I'm a mother, and I'm a you know, that type of thing. She's going to try to be softer. She's going to try to appear to be softer. The Queen of Cups. She's going to try to be the nurturer. But it's advice she was given. By the Four of Cups, she was not completely happy about it, but she knows it needs to be done. This is a smokescreen by the Seven of Cups, though. This is not real. What this is meant to do is to plant the seeds for a image change in the next 7 months, 7 years, whatever the case may be. So she is trying to change her image. She is trying to become Ivanka Trump, mother-in-chief. But as far as the name burdening her, it has already. Her entire reputation has been changed. This is why she is trying to change her image. But she is pretty much tarnished, because we see through that. So like I said, it is smokescreen. So she's done. She's a Trump forever. Eric. Eric. Eight of Cups. The Emperor. Hangman. Queen of Coins. The Hierophant. Nine of Cups. Six of Cups. Eight of Wands. The Chariot. And the Five of Swords. It hurts you too. The Eight of Cups and the Emperor. There is going to be a diminishing of all sense of power, of authority. The Eight of Cups is abandonment, walking away. The Emperor is that power and that authority. But it is being ate away by that name. Six of Cups. That's you, your childhood. Now, interestingly enough, this is not you as a grown-up. This is you as a child. This name has always been a bit of a... It was good when it was good and it was bad when it was bad. It was never really, I'm still, even when it's bad, proud to be a Trump. It was like, when it was bad, it was obviously bad, and it was bad to other people. It was bad in public, and you were made a fool of, and da-da-da-da. So you have a trauma here, too, that you need to be dealing with as well. There needs to be a conversation like Jared and his father between you and yours. So any semblance of power, though, however, is going away. The Hierophant and the Hangman, there's also needs to be a change in your moral compass. Because you, I think, know what you were doing was wrong. This is probably why every time you opened your mouth, you spoke the truth. Accidentally. And so it was sort of your spirit trying to tell on itself. That way you can be done with it. But it never really happened that way. I also think you may be having some medium visits, too. There might be something here with the Chariot card. Somebody might be visiting you from the other side. There's also some fights here with the Five of Swords that you cannot win. When it comes to courts and things of that nature. This is, Lord. For some reason or another, something is really trying to drag you out of this. I don't know what. Maybe you just have a deeper spiritual connection than your siblings and your father. But something is really trying to help you not be a horrible person. And you keep fighting it. Don Jr., the namesake. So we have the Emperor and the Lovers, King of Swords, Six of Wands, the Judgment, King of Wands, so here you are trying your hardest to make sure that people know that your father is still a victorious person. King of Swords, the Lovers, the Three of Cups. There's some sort of celebration about, my father was once the president. He was once the most powerful person in the world. You're really trying to speak it up. Here with the Six of Wands, the King of Wands, you're trying to appear loyal to power and victory and triumph. Ace of Cups, emotions. But in the end, there's a Tower and the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is a positive card. But the Tower here, too, it reminds you of all of the things the Chariot is speaking of. It's full of opposites. There's like male, female, black, white, east, west. Now, when things come together, the Chariot is unstoppable. It would win any race. But this Sphinx faces this way, that one faces that way, which means they are not going in the same direction and they're not even moving. So there has to be some discipline. Everybody has to work together. But here with the Tower, that means it's not going to happen. You want very badly to exalt yourself by telling everybody how great your father was when we have eyes and memories, sir. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a crashing down of emotions. He will break down and realize what he's doing in public. In private, I think he already knows this, but this will come to him in public, to where he's going to have to admit this man is a failure. Therefore, you and him, like Jared and his father, and Eric need to have an honest and open conversation, which is never going to happen because he doesn't listen to anyone, but that's what you need. Cards aren't necessarily going to tell you what you should do. They're going to tell you what you need to do, or what you're going to do. They're going to tell you what you need to do. So you're going to have to admit, judgment call, you're going to have to admit this man is not a success. The name Trump is already damaged you. You just have to admit it. That way you can repair the damage. I don't think you can because, we see through you too, but you're not going anywhere no time soon. All right, Donald Trump. What is the name going to do to you? The Five of Wands and the Four of Cups. The Eight of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, Six of Wands, Eight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. So we start with a conflict and something you can't do anything about with the Four of Cups. You have created this snowball. Now, mind you, I said this before. I didn't know Donald Trump before he ran for president. All I ever knew about Donald Trump is that he was rich because that was the image that was portrayed to me. I'm not a New Yorker, so I don't know who he was and how he's always been and so forth and so forth. New Yorkers say they always knew he was a scumbag. Well, I didn't know because I don't know him. But now, everybody does. Literally everybody, because you were on the world stage. And so this conflict, you can't do anything about. That's what your name invokes in people, is a conflict, whether it's good or bad. Queen of Cups in the Eight of Cups. Like I said, there's a woman, that's more than likely Ivanka, is going to start to walk away from you. No, that's the Seven. There is a confusion in your relationship then. You don't know what happened there. Conflict at the middle. You don't know what happened. Six of Cups, the lineage. So your children here, you thought that you elevated them to a specific position, but this just put them in the limelight too. Now we know who all of them are, because now they're at the center of attention. The Nine of Wands. The problem is trying to overcome. The Nine of Wands is a very heavy load to carry uphill. You can do it, but it is very strenuous, it's arduous, it's laborious, it's all the S's. It's very hard to continue to drag all that uphill. And the Eight of Swords, it's trapped. There is no getting out of this conflict. Like I said, this is something you can't do nothing about. There's a rich woman here. There's two women here, Ivanka and Melania, more than likely. One of them has a lot of money and one of them has your heart. That's Ivanka, that's Melania, or other way around. Those are the ones you worry about. You figure the boys are going to do whatever the boys are going to do because they're boys. But you ruined your name, your relationships, and your reputation. Hope it was worth it.